Never address people that have shown behaviors that are below you. The man that tried to fire me 11 years ago over an email that had one word in all caps, I know for sure he is not asking me for a favor 11 years later. There is no way I'm reading this LinkedIn message the correct way. So I get on my laptop and I start doing what? Typing, ready to remind him of the last interaction that we had. And saved by the bell, my husband walks in and he says, "What are you doing? You look upset. What's wrong?" And I show him the message and he says, "Deshauna, delete this right now." And my husband says, "Listen, when you make it to your level, when you level up, when you get to a certain place in life, you don't even address people certain ways because you're so above it now. Leveling up is recognizing when there are certain people that are absolutely not even close to being at the caliber you're at. And addressing them, it requires you to lower your frequency to get to their level. Never do that. Never do that."
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host Claire Monica and welcome back to Claire Monica Talks. So today we are going to be talking about staying away from negative people, negative situations, negative places and negativity as a whole. As leveled up, as growing people, we need to know where we're delegating our energy and delegating our attention. As powerful people, we need to learn to not feed into negativity, whether that's from loved ones, whether that's from people in the workplace, school, anywhere really. Stay away from negative people. Don't take offense. Choose who deserves a reaction out of you. Don't react to every single thing. And yeah, so this video is just going to highlight different tips, different experiences when it comes to dealing with negativity. So make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you at the end.
These are things I do not take personally. Not being invited. I don't go places where I'm not wanted, and I don't sit at tables where I am not welcome. Being underestimated. I don't need to prove my worth to people who don't even know who they are. People talking about me behind my back. Knowing that I'm the most relevant topic of conversation that another person has to talk about is honestly flattering. People who refuse to support my win. It's literally your own fault for not wanting to build community or relationships with people you want to be like. People distancing themselves from me. Most people are cowards or insecure, and whatever is not meant for me won't be for me. People's insecurities. Hating yourself is your full-time job, not mine. Passive-aggressive comment. You admire me so much that you want my attention, but your envy won't let you show me admiration. So the only way you could think to have access to me is by hiding behind catty remarks.
I finally bought the book that everyone and their mothers recommend, and I only started reading it, and I have to share this with you because it's literally altering my brain chemistry. This section that I'm reading is about how you can be super unbothered and basically immune from anybody putting negativity or judgment on you, because it says you will only receive a negative idea if your mind is fertile ground for that idea. When you become so impeccable with your word, your mind is no longer fertile ground for words that come from black magic, e.g. negativity from others. Instead, it is fertile for the words that come from love. And you can measure the impeccability of your word, which is your protection from other people's negativity, insults, judgment, by your level of self-love. How much you love yourself and how you feel about yourself are directly proportionate to the quality and integrity of your word. Essentially, it's not just about people are going to hate on you and insult you regardless. It's about when you cleanse your energy and you cleanse your mind and you love yourself and you're happy with yourself and you're at peace and you're not thinking badly of others, the negativity and insults of others simply cannot compute or resonate in your brain because you're living in a complete other dream, alternate reality where stuff like that doesn't resonate. It can't actually bring any emotion or reaction out of you to the surface. It's just not possible. Love it. The 4 agreements.
There's nothing better than falling out with people knowing that you were the funny friend, because I'm down a fake ass bitch and you're down somebody that gave you a real joyous belly laugh. And that's just not something that you can imitate.
Your energy introduces you before you even speak. So it's essential to know the factors that can block your energy and therefore prevent you from becoming the best version of yourself. Limiting beliefs. Most of the time, these are formed from past experiences, what other people have said to you, basically things that have nothing to do with you. You have 2 sides of you and you get to decide where your thoughts come from, either your inner critic or your inner cheerleader. 2, energy vampires. Who you surround yourself with is everything and will either energize you or drain you. Letting anyone into your life is not the vibe. Someone can be so nice but literally destroy your energy because of how much they complain and the negative energy they are putting into your life. 3, interpretations. This is when you automatically decide a negative meaning without any real evidence. Like, oh, they haven't replied to me yet, so they must not like me. You are literally sabotaging yourself for no reason and keeping your own energy in a negative state. 4, avoidance. You are essentially stuck at fear, which is the lowest vibrational energy you can be at. You overthink, think about the worst case scenarios, and it prevents you from taking action. 5, going with the flow. You are essentially being a passenger princess in your own life. You keep breaking promises to yourself, saying you're going to do something and then never showing up for yourself. You pay more attention to how you feel rather than the logic that you need to get that done and be disciplined. And this blocks your energy because you become consumed by what you should be doing and could be doing, and yet you don't. And lastly, assumed conclusions. Basically deciding how things are going to go based on your past, which literally has no relevance in your future. Like, I failed that test a year ago, so I'm not intelligent. Or just because a guy played you means now you have no luck in dating. Makes no sense, and it means you're creating your own bad luck.
Or maybe you self-sabotage so much because when you start to realize that great things can come to you easily and you actually can live a life that feels easy, part of you feels guilty because your entire life you were raised to believe that even the smallest amount of success requires an immense amount of suffering, and that if something comes to you easily, then it can't be real. So when things do start coming to you easily and you realize that the hardest thing about obtaining everything you want in this life isn't about how many more hours you put in than someone else or how much you struggle to achieve a certain task, but rather about unlearning all of the patterns that keep you stuck in believing that you're not good enough, that challenges your entire programming. So you start to rebel and you sabotage yourself, and sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it because it's a lot easier to continue to believe in the status quo than to internalize the idea that maybe a core belief you've had your entire life is just one big lie. Just a thought.
Hey bestie, this is just a gentle reminder that that thing that you're working on that you don't know like how it's gonna look or if it's gonna be cringy or embarrassing, yeah, this is just a reminder that embarrassment is literally a choice. It's literally just a social construct. And that thing that you think is so cringy and that is gonna look really, really bad, the thing is you haven't even done it yet, so you have no idea what the reaction is gonna be. And this sense of embarrassment you think that it is simply your choice. Nobody's even reacted to it yet. That is simply the meaning you are putting to it. So please, get out of your own way because the world needs whatever your ideas are, and we can't wait to see.
I was today years old when I realized the reason why I had so many opposite enemies in my circle was because while they were praying on my downfall, I was praying right with them. You see, when you struggle to believe in you and believe in what you can do, it's easy for the folks around you to be in agreement. I can't expect you to nourish me in this relationship and in this friendship when every time you see me eating, I'm chewing on doubt. I'm chewing on regret. I'm chewing on a lack of faith in what I can do. And so, of course, when you provide me my plate, you are feeding me what I serve myself every single day. But the craziest thing about it is while we were sitting there praying together, you were reciting the words that I provided for you. While we were sitting there praying together, you were acting out the behaviors that I gave to you. What breaks my heart the most, though, what really saddens me the most, though, is that you took advantage of the internalized work that I had not yet accomplished. And that is the thing that makes you a badass friend.
The most dangerous person, especially if they're a friend, to have in your life. I'm currently reading 48 Laws of Power. If you haven't heard of this book, interesting fact, but this book is banned from all prisons because of what it teaches when it comes to the psychology of others. And I'm learning so much. And I found one of the laws particularly interesting because it really applies to my personal life and my past experiences. Law 10 out of the 48 states, infection, avoid the unhappy and unlucky. And if you read this chapter, it basically tells you to avoid people who are constantly victimizing themselves. They are the victim in every single story. And I know we all know someone like that. This person screwed them over. That person screwed them over. Bad things are just always happening to them and they don't know why. And not only are bad things always happening in their life, but they're always talking about it to garner attention and sympathy from other people. So why is this type of person so dangerous? Well, when you really think about it, someone who always plays the victim, they never hold themselves accountable for their own actions. They're constantly blaming someone else. And if you have someone like this in your close-knit circle, you're eventually going to start adopting this same attitude. People hate to admit this, but you are who you hang out with. And why is this so dangerous? Because when you don't hold yourself accountable for your own actions, for your own life, you are basically giving your power away to others. And let me tell you, every successful person out there would never give their power to anyone else because they know that the power lies within them. I'm very compassionate and empathetic naturally, so I used to attract people like this all the time before I learned that not everyone deserves this side of me. When you hang out with people who are constantly playing the victim in every single story, one day, inevitably, you will become their villain, and they'll let everyone know about it.
Stay away from negative speaking people. Stay away from people that don't understand your language or your goals. This is a huge part of manifesting that people forget. They think you just go into a room, meditate, and ask for something or say, I want. No, that is the worst thing you can do. You must surround yourself with positive people, or you must only listen to positive people. You must label people negative, or positive. You don't look to negative people. You don't talk to negative people about what you're manifesting. You leave them out of the loop. The only time that they find out what you are manifesting is when you have it in your hand. Okay? So you must understand this. That is one of the most important things. Don't tell a soul if they're not supporting you 100%. If they're supporting you 85%, still don't tell them. You could tell them, you can mention it, you can say what you're going to plan to do, but just bust out with it like Beyonce. Drop it when they least expect it. Why? Because you don't need people telling you what you can't do when it's already done. When it's obvious that it's already done. Don't allow people to make you make decisions based on their thoughts about what you can do. Okay? And if you want to test somebody out real good, just for laughs, go ahead and complete whatever you're trying to do. Manifest, complete it, have it done, and then get one of those negative Nancys. Get one of them negative people. Thank you, Andy. And tell them, I think I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. What do you think? Oh, no, you can't do that. Oh, no. They're going to list all the cons and the problems that come with it. And, well, I don't think you can guess. And then guess what you could say? You can have the satisfaction of saying, well, guess what? I already did it. Boop. Teach them a lesson, But that's kind of petty. And I suggest only trying that one time just to see how it feels, and then just keep it moving.
Let me tell you why praying for your enemies or somebody that hurt you will keep you young and prosperous. A few years ago, I got into a fight with a friend of mine. We had been friends for 20 years. It wasn't like we had just met. But it was during COVID and tension was high. If I have to be completely honest, it's not like I was completely surprised. There were red flags all along, but I really chose not to see them. My husband told me, my kids told me, my parents told me. We're in completely different places in our lives. I was married, she wasn't. I had kids, she didn't. I moved to LA, she came to LA. I was like, she was very smart, but she was in and out of jobs and just in and out of apartments, and I invited her to every single thing I did, every event, everything. One day we fought about something completely insignificant, and what she said to me made me realize that how she felt about me had nothing to do with the fight. Something along the lines of like, she's not going to bow down to me like everybody else always has, and something completely inappropriate and uncalled for. And when a few days of fight had calmed down, she said, look, if you want to get past this, we can. If not, we had a good run. I was hurt and disappointed, and I decided to move on. I used to, prior to the fight, pray for her every single day. I knew what was hard for her physically and in her life, and I would pray every single day for her. And after a fight, after I digested it for a few days, not only did I prayed 10 times harder. I prayed so hard, and I do till today. I guess I felt like if she got to this point where she feels like this, she really needs help. And when you do that, something crazy happens. And I know because it happened to me. Go from being angry and resentful, which leads to bitterness, which leads to being old. Have you ever noticed like Some old people have this angry, bitter face. They got into a fight with somebody 40 years prior and they're still holding on to this anger and they don't even remember what they fought about. To being compassionate, even with somebody who hurt you, which brings positivity, which brings openness, which brings youth. Did you ever notice children, when they fight, even if they cry their heart out, 2 seconds later they forgot about it? It's a youthful mentality where nothing is about to ruin our day and certainly not our life. That mentality leads you to prosperity and success because there is no room in your head for unnecessary clutter and negativity. Only room for good things that are important in your life. Now, I know it's hard because it goes completely against human nature to pray for somebody that hurt us, but it's possible because I did it. And let me tell you something, you'll be doing yourself a huge favor and your face will thank you for it.
When I tell you I have finally cracked the code on how to get the most out of life and always be happy, the secret is to find the joy and excitement in every single little mundane task in your daily life. Because if you don't, you'll probably be miserable and bored 24/7 with a negative outlook of the world. So what you need to do is romanticize your life always. And I know everyone throws around that term, but how do you actually do it and get stuff out of it? One, anytime you're stuck on a long drive or in traffic, instead of complaining about the situation, you're going to put on an audiobook or you're going to put on an inspiring podcast to change your mood and change the narrative of that situation. Two, go to a Starbucks drive-thru for no reason. Get the sweetest latte, park up in the car park, drink it, look at the sky, be alone with your thoughts. No work, no stress, just vibes. Go on a hot girl walk, but you have to try a different route and become a tourist in your own city. Explore. My favorite is when you're picking your outfit out for the day, decide to dress like your favorite movie character or celebrity. I live to do this with Miranda Priestley from The Devil Wears Prada. I wasn't joking. When you're out and about doing errands, strut around your city and listen to a movie soundtrack in your headphones. Stay off social media for 24 hours and learn to entertain yourself without it for the day. Read a book in a day, bake, whatever. Buy yourself flowers. Stay in a hotel room alone for no reason and just enjoy the bedding, the room service and the spa. Wake up earlier than usual to watch the sunrise. Pick the prettiest recipe you can find on Pinterest and make that for lunch. And take candid pictures of every little thing that brings you joy throughout the day. So why should you do all of these things? When you're doing this, you're taking charge of your day. You're doing different things every single day. You're changing up your otherwise boring, mundane, regular, repeated routine. You're adding little moments of magic throughout your day that you can look forward to every single day when you wake up. That's what makes life more enjoyable. That's how you romanticize your life. And that's how you feel like the main character.
Amazing stuff. I'm going to end the video by saying that guarding yourself and guarding your life from negativity is such a game changer. You need to learn to guard your energy like it's currency, because it is. And I've made a lot of videos about this, so make sure you go check those out. But just remember that whoever you let around you will shape your mood, your mindset and your momentum. If you're someone who's trying to get far in life, someone who has high aspirations or high goals, high dreams, if you surround yourself with low energy or low vibrational people, this can stunt your growth. And Robert Greene said in his book of 4 Years Laws of Power, no matter how you feel about that man, he says a lot of intelligent things. One thing that he said was to avoid the unlucky and the miserable, or avoid the miserable and the unlucky, and be surrounded by who you want to be. If you're surrounded by 5 depressed people, you're going to be the 6th. If you're surrounded by 5 intelligent people, you're going to be the 6th. If you're surrounded by 5 rich people, you're going to be the 6th. This is just how it works. So choose to be around positivity and light rather than darkness or loudness. Choose peace, stay positive, and this does not mean to be delusional, be naive. It just simply means you're deciding to keep yourself, your mind, your environment disciplined and aligned with what you aspire to be. So yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. Just stay grounded, stay glowing, and I'll see you in the next one.